Hello and welcome to Abbitt Media, I'm Grant Abbitt, and today I've got the opportunity to collaborate with Jayanam. So together we're making a shield, I'm doing the painting and Jayanam has already done the model. If you haven't seen the first part already, then go across to Jayanam's channel and have a look at the techniques that he used to make it. And it's worth saying his channel is absolutely fantastic. I often find myself looking at his tutorials to find out new tips, tricks and techniques. He has a huge number of tutorials on there, from beginners to advanced in Blender, but also Unity tutorials as well. So if you want to find out about taking your models from Blender to Unity, which I often get asked, Jayanam's channel is the perfect place. So let's get started on this shield. I've got my shortcut keys in the bottom here, and they are from Jayanam. He made the add-on. Now with the shield, there's a few things that need to be optimized for games, and we need to unwrap it before we start painting. So let's take a closer look. I press Tab to go into edit mode and zoom in a bit. Now the first thing that's worth pointing out is these pointy bits here, or spiky bits I should say. If I select all four of those, I'm just going to grab in the Z axis and bring them in slightly. Because what you'll see is that when you start painting and you see the edges, if they're really pointy, it can look a bit odd when you start texture painting. So just slightly less spiky. It doesn't change the model too much, but just a bit will help us to texture paint. Now one other area that's worth giving some thought is whether we need all the faces that are here. So if we have a look across at the silhouette of the shield, so I'm looking at the outline, we probably don't need this loop cut and this loop cut here. It makes sense to model it like that so you get a nice curve, but there isn't too much in terms of a curve, so we don't need it. I'm going to select this edge loop and this one, so 2 to go into edge mode, or select edges up here, and hold down Alt and left click, and Shift Alt and left click to select this one as well. And then I can press delete and come down to dissolve edges. Don't delete the edges, as this will do this. Instead, dissolve edges will remove those edge loops. Now you can see I've lost a bit of my curve, but I don't think there's enough to worry about. And we save on the polygon count. I can do the same for the ones under here as well. But these ones I can't do that because it needs it for that curve. The last thing that I'm going to do before unwrapping is to look at these areas here. Now if we take one of these objects, I'll select one edge and just zoom in on it with full stop or period key on my numpad. And you can see there's these internal faces here. Now when we're texture painting, we won't really be able to see the gap in between here, and we can highlight that with our texture rather than the geometry. So we paint the gap in rather than keeping a gap. So what I can do is just get to an area where I can see these faces, go to face mode with 3, and then Alt left click on one of the lines going across the face. Can you see that? And it's selected the whole face loop, and I need the other side as well. I can actually select one of the outside ones here, so Alt left click. So I've got all the inside faces selected, but I've got the outside ones as well, and then I just have to go across and unselect them. So C for circle select is a good one, and then I can middle click to deselect objects. Right click to come out of circle select, C to circle select again once you're in position, and then middle click to get rid of those selections, right click to come out of circle select. So it takes a bit of getting used to circle select. Once you do, it's very quick. Oh, and just those last two there. So now I've got those faces in the middle, delete, and this time I actually am deleting the faces. So at the moment we've got this area in here that's blank, so we need to select this edge loop around here. So I press 2 to go to edge mode, Alt left click to select that edge loop around there, and I can press S to scale them in so they overlap the other one. Now I've got a slight problem there. It's squished itself inwards this way and this way, which I don't want. So I'm just going to go to wireframe, Z on my keyboard, wireframe, and you can see them inside there, and they've squished inwards this way and this way. The only way to get around that problem is to change your resize orientation. So you can change the orientation up here if you haven't got this box, and go by the view, and if I scale by the X, it will scale out by the X in accordance to the viewport. So you get at the right angle with your viewport, and then you can scale those out into position. Just have a check around, make sure you're happy, and you might want to do some adjustments to maybe the end bits here. Let's go back to solid mode and have a quick look. Yes, so into wireframe mode. So C to circle select, delete these ones with middle click. And now I'm still on view, so I can press G to grab in the X axis and bring those out. Let's go back to global view and then just scale in the Z and bring them in so they overlap the shield properly. So back to solid mode, make sure it's all tidied up. You might want to just sort out areas in here and here. So into wireframe mode and just select those vertices and bring them in. So you can see they're all overlapping each other. That's absolutely fine, and that's good in fact. So I just need to tidy up my shape and make sure they're all good like that. So I've completed the other brackets and the shield is now ready for unwrapping. So let's go to our UV editing space. So let's zoom into our object. I'll move this in just a touch and zoom into our UV space. Now if you want to be really naughty, you can select all, press U and Smart UV Project if you just want to have a go at painting and not too worried about optimization for games and things. Make sure you put the island margin up to at least 0.03 and press OK. But you can see the unwrap is pretty poor because we've got these huge spaces of textures that just aren't used. Far better is to mark our seams, and a shield's quite a good object for that because it's got quite flat surfaces. You can then actually take this and put it into an image editing program and paint on that instead of in Blender. But if you do want to jump ahead to just the painting process and do a Smart UV project, then you can jump to the next video where I start texture painting. So the unwrapping process, we select edges and mark seams, and you're trying to look for areas that are natural seams. So there's going to be a metal bit here and a wooden bit here. So if I press 2 for edges and Alt right click here, that's an obvious seam between two textures. Then you press Ctrl E for edge menu, or you go up to the edge menu here and mark seam. Another place is in here, so where the metal meets the wood again. So Alt left click, Ctrl E, mark seam. Now have a go and see if you can notice other areas that are important for marking seams. So the obvious ones are going to be on the other side as well. There's going to be one in the same position here and one in the same position here. So Shift Alt left click, and I can select those both at the same time, Ctrl E and mark seams. This cylinder seems a bit more awkward, but it's absolutely fine. One thing I want to check though, press L over that object, Shift H to hide the rest, and I just want to make sure that the ends have been deleted, and Jayanam certainly has done that. It would make a difference to the unwrap if they weren't. Now the best place when you're unwrapping something like a cylinder, notice I had these selected at the same time as well, so they haven't been hidden. I'll just hide those quickly as well. So I'll select those and press H to hide. So the best place to unwrap a cylinder, you must have a cut down one side. So much like a tin of food has a label around the middle, you're doing the same with a cylinder. So the best place would be right in the bottom here, because that's going to be the least likely to be seen. And that's the best place to put seams where they're unlikely to be seen, or where two different objects / textures meet. So let's Alt left click on that line down there, Ctrl E, mark seams. So let's Alt H to bring back the rest of our model. Now things like this nut, for example, if I deselect all with Alt A and press L over that, and let's Shift H to hide everything else. So you can see that it's got face missing here, that's good. And if I unwrap this now, let's just press U to unwrap. And just notice I'm using unwrap, not Smart UV Project anymore, because we're doing a proper unwrap. You can see it unwraps like this, which is absolutely fine, so we don't really need to mark any seams on these objects. Let's Alt H to bring back our model. You can see it's all overlapping each other now, don't worry too much about that, we'll unwrap it all together in a second. I'm going to press Alt A to deselect all and L to select one of these pieces as well. So let's Shift H to hide everything else, U to unwrap, and unwrap this. And again, that's absolutely fine, so no seams needed there. So Alt H to bring back everything. So we should be okay. Looking at the model, there shouldn't be any problems with our unwrap. So let's press U, unwrap, and there's our model. Now it's got some overlapping bits, so there's a problem somewhere. I'm going to come down to the bottom here, and I am going to increase our island margin to 0.006 to make sure there's enough space so we don't get any ugly seams at all. It's not a bad unwrap, but again there's these big spaces and big areas where it's wasted. And like I say, we've got these overlapping objects here. The way we can figure out what's going on is press this button up here, which is Sync Selection, and then I can just select one of them. Then I can press full stop or period key on my numpad and go into that and see what the problem is. And there was just one there, or maybe there's another couple, that have the face that we don't need underneath. So I need to go round and delete those faces. So select those faces, delete, and faces. Let's try and unwrap again. So select all, unwrap, and suddenly we haven't got any overlap. So it's just that one that was causing a problem. Now let's see if we can make the most of our texture space. Well, we've got a big circle in here, so we can move one of these circles into here. The one that wants the most detail is the top one here because that's going to be the most seen. So let's click on one of those faces and see which one it is. It's that one there. So we can press L over here for link selection, grab it and move it in the middle of all this and scale it up. That will give us more texture space to work with by scaling it up like that. Also, let's select this one here. So I know this is going to be the front, so it'd be a good idea if I scaled this up into this area here. So I'm going to press L again over here, scale it up, and grab it and move it into position. So now it's taking up a lot of texture space, but obviously I've got some overlap here, so I've got to watch out for that. So for the moment, I'll move it across to the side, select these little guys here, grab and move those into the middle here. Select all these, and move them down to the bottom here. And we're a bit tight for space. I'll press Control Spacebar to maximize this screen and make sure I've got enough space around the edges. That's all good. Alt-A to deselect, L to select link, and then move that into position. So somewhere around here. Scaling it up just a touch, I'll move this one into the middle there, giving us even more space. I'll press Control Spacebar to go back to normal screen mode. Now if I turn this off, suddenly all my UVs will disappear, but if I select them all in here, they'll all come back. But now I've got some better options where I can choose to move islands. So that's the vertices, edges and faces option, and there's the islands at the end, so I can click on an island, grab and move it, which makes it a little bit easier. So let's move these around and scale them up to give ourselves a bit more space and try and optimize the space as much as possible. There we go, that's a much better unwrap. Very last thing, I might as well select each of these, scale them up a bit to make the most of the small bits of space. And these are all the nuts and bolts. So same controls as always, S to scale, G to grab, and I'm using the island select up here. There we go, and that's a fine unwrap. So it's a good idea to save your work at this point and then start texture painting. So in the next video, I'll do just that. See you next time.